Good afternoon and welcome to Audiotree Live. Today is Sunday, October 30th, 2016, and we're very honored to have with us in the studio, Bear vs. Shark. Take it away, guys. Audiotree Live with Bear vs. Shark. Sounding awesome in here, guys. Really, really good. Thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to do this. It's great. I wanted to ask about, I grew up in Michigan, and like growing up, being in like middle school, high school, you guys were like the local band. Like you guys were like the band to go see. And unfortunately, I never got to see you back then, but you played the Grotto in Port Huron, Michigan. Do you remember ever playing that place?
Yeah, it wasn't even Port Huron. It was like a half hour north of Port
Was it? Yeah, it was like
some weird.
Yeah. I think you're talking about like Croswell, maybe when you played in Croswell. Yeah. I'm from that area, so like it was. Bands. Yeah, exactly. Like that, all those shows are like legendary, like from where I come from back then.
Yeah, that was a ball for sure.
Yeah, and I was wondering, is there any venues, like, cause that venue closed down, and I was wondering, is there any other venues you guys miss, or like, do you think about back in Michigan that you kind of wish you could play, now you're not able to?
Well, I would say, and it's still there, but I think it's much different than when we played it. Max Bar in Lansing.
Oh yeah.
Was like when we did it, or when we used to play there. It was like, and I'm not trying to rip on them. I'm not trying to rip on them now.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're still a really good venue, but. Our buddy Steve would book everything, and it was just like a really, like, we played there with Hella, like, we played some crazy shows there, and I don't think it's the same
Owners
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah,
Like
like
switched
a
over?
ventriloquist now.
Do they?
It's like a dummy club.
I really? I didn't
It's
know
getting
that.
bigger, but
You talking puppet shows?
No, just ventriloquists.
Oh, okay.
They don't like to be mixed.
Oh, it's like totally separate. That's awesome. But yeah, I remember seeing some footage of you guys playing like at Max Bar where you're like going insane and the crowd was going insane. So I'd imagine that is
It was
a venue
awesome.
that's-
Yeah, it was a great place to play.
That's really
We
cool.
always had fun.
Awesome.
The half-ass was always really cool too.
Oh, in Ann
Yeah?
Arbor?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get chicken nuggets and then play.
That's
bonus for me. Oh, Wilkes-Barre.
There's a wrestling mat.
There's a wrestling rink.
Oh man.
Rink or ring?
Rink.
Rink?
You like played on the mats?
Yeah, and so it was a converted wrestling ring.
Okay.
And, yeah, so you'd play and you'd be like, woo, and jump
Like jumping around. Okay.
Derek like suplexed me one show.
Yeah, you could like clothesline the fans.
That's great. Yeah, because I was gonna say like you said it converted. I was gonna think like people were doing wrestling matches while you guys were playing. And I was like that.
I mean, that happened too,
Yeah, yeah.
between us, primarily. Me
Live.
and John, primarily. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you guys can roll on that next song whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Derek, what happened?
I'm very gifted with headphones.
Audiotree live with Bear vs. Shark. You good? You all right? Everything's all set?
I'm fine. They're my enemy.
There's a talk on there. I'm not really sure which channel actually. Yeah, sorry about that.
Mark, can you roll me a water? Or just spit in my mouth? Something?
Either way, it works, right? He wasn't much of a bowler, I don't think.
That was actually a great
Were you?
Yeah, it was.
you were on the team? Yeah.
Assholes, I'm also a bowler.
That's great.
I was terribly offended. I actually have a lot of bowling trophies.
Do you really? Are you messing with me?
No, I'm not messing with you at
Oh,
all. I
that's
was
so
really
awesome.
good up until about the 5th grade. Then I had this horrible hand injury.
Oh yeah.
No, that's a lie. I just stopped bowling.
But you're on a bowling team, you're on the dirty holes,
You got
right?
me.
Highland Lanes.
That's awesome. Well, you guys can roll that next song whenever you're ready.
They
here.
have chicken nuggets too.
He's like, stop talking about your bowling,
Your bowling career.
your really
Yeah.
short bowling career.
Just a second, guys.
Ended fatally.
It has to be perfect.
Cool.
Goddamn ropes.
You're watching Audiotree Live with Bear vs. Shark. That was amazing. I love that ending there. It was great, guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about looking back on the album. A lot of people talk about these two albums that you guys are re-releasing here and reissued here, that how they still are really relevant today, even with the music that's coming out. And I want to know how you guys feel looking back at the music. Because, you know, sometimes you make something and you look back at it and you're like, oh, man, like, or bummed out about it. Or how do you feel now that you're older and you're looking back on the albums?
I mean, I'm still just as stoked on them as we were when we released them, for
That's
sure.
awesome. That's great.
I mean, when we were writing these songs, we kind of wrote them for like the songs that you want to listen to. So
Yeah.
you know, I guess
a good way to write.
You want to always be in that mind, but like you don't want to. Yeah.
As far as prophecy, I don't think we thought
thought this far into that.
we didn't think they were prophetic.
Yeah.
It's very cool what's happening.
That's great. And now, like, now with you guys like being out on the road and doing all these all over again, do you see like a huge difference as far as touring back then and touring now? Is it like, yeah?
We're a lot
Yeah.
older now.
Yeah. That
Not at all.
is like the crowds and the venues. Is that definitely a thing that's grown?
it's
or
been
got-
It's been wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been absolutely awesome. It's totally a different.
I mean, there's people
Totally
coming to see us
different.
that never saw us when we existed.
So I think like last night, I talked to a kid that was like, he was like, man, I never got to see you because I was 9. Yeah, that made me feel really all right. Yeah.
Well, it's
But
cool.
it's
he's
like,
out
why
there
did we
now.
do that 9-year-old tour if he didn't even come?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played
Like
on
he's
the
gonna complain. We
libraries,
played
like-
bouncy castles.
Chuck E.
playgrounds.
Cheese. Yeah.
We can't anymore.
Oh,
But
I'm busy. I can't make it to the show.
But we had that big
9-year-olds.
Midwest like Toys R Us tour
Right.
that didn't go over that well. So
No.
he had a chance.
Yeah, he blew it.
His parents chose.
that's on
It's
him.
all on him. Yeah. Well, you guys, you good? You ready to roll on that next song?
I don't know.
Let's do it.
Yeah, hurry up. explanation of a sentence broken up to form a rhythm. Right smack down, you are a poem of an afternoon. Pieces of my senses broken up to form a rhythm. Take her down to the river, and she would step right over the water. But if you take him on down to that goddamn river, she would drag you straight down to the bottom. Okay. Nice job, guys.
You're watching Audiotree Live with Bear versus Shark. Real quick before we head to the next one, I want to go around and ask a question. What was your first band? What was it called?
Oh, that's easy.
I need to know. All right, we'll start over here.
Well, we were in a band called The Tale of Cybermonkey and His Amazing Floating Vegetable Peeler.
That is great.
Put out a couple 7 inches.
They just said it. What kind of music was it, if I can ask?
Horrible. Like chubby 7th graders, like oozing in a basement. You know, just doing
sounds like-
hey like that.
Sounds
3 of our
great to
songs
me.
were named Hey. Then we had pizza
Eric
snacks.
Macon.
Eric Macon had the biggest Lego village I've ever seen.
he's a-
Remember?
That's great.
He had a Lego village, and one time he went upstairs, and I just broke some of the buildings.
Why not,
That's
right?
how I do.
Why not? What about you,
Sorry,
Brandon?
Eric.
What about you, man?
What about you guys? You and Ash were in a band. Or a few.
Oh, what was that called?
We can
All right,
skip around.
my
We can
first
skip around.
band. My first band was called Skazilla.
Skazilla?
That's right.
What were they?
That's, I can imagine what that sounds like, right?
And it was those. So I started playing trumpet. What are you
Ash.
pointing at?
I was just pointing.
Yeah,
Don't hit me.
Skazilla with those dudes right there.
That's great.
And Ash. Yeah.
Then Ash. All right, cool. You as
Joe,
well?
What about you?
Oh, I was in a band called The Days Worth Remembering.
Nice. I love
Oh, you
that.
put out that
a
album
memoir
Easy
band?
September, right? That was you.
I
Easy
learned
September.
something new about you every
No,
day.
we never
Nick.
really wrote songs. We just like wrestled in the lawn. Tried to play instruments, but didn't work.
That's a band that counts, right? Right?
Well, I don't even. What was that? What's the band with James Douglas called?
Crotch?
Because that was actually the first band.
Yeah.
The
James Douglas trio.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. What about you, Brandon?
I had a band. We wanted to be a band. We had a name and like a symbol and everything. The Ultimate Fluke. But really, this is my first band.
That's awesome.
I learned to play drums so I could be in this band.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all in
That's a good first
middle
band.
school picked up these instruments because we were like, one day we're gonna be in a band together.
Yeah.
And
I
so
picked
Brandon
drums
picked
because
drums.
my stepdad was a drummer, and no one else wanted to play drums. So
That's true.
No one else wanted to
I
lug
was
him around.
assigned
huh?
to bass, remember?
Yeah.
Because we were like, we're going to be like Guns N' Roses, and we're playing guitar, and you're playing bass.
Oh, that's.
I was like, okay.
Duff's
And
pretty
you
cool.
took it and you ran with it.
Same thing with Ashley. Ashley was like, well, yeah, so we already have a guitar and bass player, and I play the drums. So he's like, so you have to sing. I was like, oh, awesome.
Well, it fits. Everything's
That's how
worked
history
out
was made.
perfect.
And then
So-
you guys had that Tori Amos cover band in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can talk about that one later.
Sweet thing.
Yeah, sweet thing.
You guys can roll that next song whenever you're ready.
Let's make it a little reasonable, more reasonable. Let's make it more reasonable.
Yeah, let's make it sensible.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Fire!
watching Audiotree Live with Bear vs. Shark. So before we roll on this last song, I have to know what sparked the reunion. Was it like a defining moment when you guys were like, all right, let's do this? Or like, was it like fans, people like asking, like, how'd you make the decision?
I think it was just time.
Yeah?
I don't think it could have happened any time but now.
That's good.
We got pushed into it.
Oh, you got pushed into it? You got forced?
Well,
We all
not
have
really.
massive gambling debts.
really.
And,
Oh, okay.
this is
gambling
the
debt.
only way we can get away
Only
from
way out.
with our legs intact.
Well, so Mark and I and Nick, we have another band called Bars of Gold, and we had a show about this time last year, and the other guitar player in the band, Scotty, put on Facebook, I think it was, a picture of Mark and I and Mike, who's not here, but is one of the original members. Nick's helping us out with this one, taking over for Mike. But the three of us were on stage laughing and looking at Mark's new guitar, because Mark bought a new guitar, and Scotty said, BVS reunion confirmed, and then boom, sent it out, and then we played the show, and after the show, things were just blowing up. We were getting emails from people.
remember that.
John was on vacation. Derek was getting separate calls. Ashley was getting calls from people. We just kind of laughed it off like complete jerks. And, but we started taking something seriously when other people. There was a critical mass of people starting to take this very seriously. So we stopped being jerks and we started taking it seriously.
That's great. Do you guys find it now that you're out doing this with families and jobs and everything back home, do you find it difficult like trying to juggle that with the reunion and all these people wanting you to do all this stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking impossible.
Yeah.
We're doing it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
you're
lot of
making it
fun,
happen.
and it's
It's
a
awesome.
ball.
It's worth it.
And really early on, we put limits on ourselves because
Okay.
we want this to be fun and we didn't want it to be overwhelming at all.
great.
And we just wanted to enjoy ourselves. And I think we've done that so far. And
Yeah, we definitely.
we got a lot more offers to do stuff, but we just can't do
We
it.
definitely
And
set it up to the point where like we wanted to hit, specific points in the country where we always had a good time.
Great.
And keep it separate, so
Yeah.
East Coast, some West Coast stuff, Chicago, obviously, Detroit, So we definitely, I think we went about it the right way. So
Yeah.
far, it's worked out pretty good. I think everybody's happy.
Yeah, everyone seems to be having a good time
Yeah.
with you guys and with the people posting about you and the people going to the shows. It seems like everyone's enjoying themselves, and that's what it's all about,
Yeah, no, it's been a ball. It's been a
Cool.
really good time.
Well, I really enjoyed you guys playing, so you can roll that last one whenever you're ready.
We've got like 4 or 5 more. Is that cool? All right.
Stare at Ashley.
One,
Audiotree Live with Bear vs. Shark. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out.
Thank you. Thank
It's
everyone
awesome.
in the booth too.
Yes, you can check them out also tonight if you can try to sneak in. It's sold out. That's up to you. But they're playing tonight. They're also playing at Pyramid Scheme. Is it in a week or so, or how long?
12.
2 weeks on the 12th. So make sure you check that out if you can. The reissues online or wherever you get your records, make sure you pick that up. Also, I wanted to thank the lighting, camera crew, audio engineers, everyone here at Audiotree that kind of makes help make all this happen.
Thank you guys.
So yeah, they're doing a great job. So if you want to help support us and support them, you can download the session when it comes out in a few weeks. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sweaty headphones.